Good kid. Bad theories.
You ever been to a rave?
You know what? I always wanted to go. Don't they be having like beer kegs and shit like that?
I don't know.
I love
have you ever been to a rave?
like beer fest. It just give me beer fest.
I feel like I have.
Would you go to a rave if you knew that it took place in a church?
A Toronto church is facing backlash after hosting a rave.
I think people enjoyed it, and God is about joy.
So according to a report from Now Toronto, the event went down at Holy Trinity Church in Toronto. While some people were calling it blessed, others expressed concerns, saying partying in a sacred space could be offensive to the church community. One user said, "Kinda don't rate this." Another user said, "Seems disrespectful, not gonna lie." And this user said, "Shame on the church for allowing this." So our BG Show team contacted the church for them to weigh in.
Our lovely old building is breaking down, and so we have property concerns that we have to take care of, and that costs money. So we do need to find ways of getting more income, and rentals are a way of doing that.
Plus, she says hosting non-religious events like these is part of the church's mission to stay connected with a diverse community.
I think different people have a different views of what church is or should be, and our view is that the church is really for all the people. And I would say that God is for all people.
Meanwhile, the pastor says it welcomes everybody to come by and learn more about what they do.
And we do beyond just raves.
So BG Squad, what do you think? Is partying in a church disrespectful, or is it just a new way to gather?
What are we thinking exactly? So, okay, appropriate,
Damn,
inappropriate. Where are we standing on this?
But
I mean,
I might sound bad.
Okay.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
You having a rave in the church and that you can drink it there? I might not ever get this opportunity again.
And that's the thing is it's like what are the rules behind this?
How do you bring them to the Lord after all of it? First off, the more drunk you are, the less like you ain't trying to hear shit when you're drunk. So how you going to evangelize with these drunk ass people?
I don't think it's so much of them.
Oh, so they ain't trying to.
No, they're not doing anything like church related.
They just was allowing.
They're just allowing it to happen. They're allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like they're allowing the event to take place at the church.
Well, don't nobody get hurt.
Can you imagine they're trying to like run like a church service while people are like drunk at a rave? It's like, I'm trying to tell you about the Lord Jesus Christ.
Right. And downstairs getting fucking banged on from upstairs. All you hear is do.
Let me tell you about our Lord and Savior.
Oh my God, there's
my trust is with the Lord. Like, let me.
I got that pastor. He's just like, here I go. Jumps off.
Crowd surf.
Swag surfing on the bench, bro.
I mean.
Oh my God.
So this is a very interesting thing because like. I have to be very careful with what I'm about to say. I don't know how I can say this without exposing individuals. Okay, I will just say this. I understand people's mindset of, well, if we're struggling with money, then why wouldn't we allow events to happen at this place? My question is, how far do we allow certain things to happen at these certain events? Because the thing is it's like you still have, like, okay, at the end of the day, the church is just a building. At the end of the day, it's just a building. Like, okay, hold on. I gotta really think about what I'm about to say because I'm about to air some. Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Take a deep breath.
It's finna be fuck y'all real soon.
Let me
Just
take a drink of this Irish coffee.
Give us some time. He finna fuck it up even more with this move.
I really gotta think about this.
Watch him think. Quick.
At the end of the day, the church is just a building. It is the symbolism of what makes the church that is important. But a church can get turned into a freaking paper company in 15 years if they can't keep up with the bills. A lot of people are aware of this church. Ambassadors Worship Center used to be a Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So it's just at a certain point, it's like, it doesn't really matter about the building. It's more about like, what this building represents and means. Because, like, you know, at the end of the day, it is the individual's relationship with God that carries more weight than what happens in a building. That being said, however, I do feel like sometimes oh my goodness, bro. I'm really trying. Donnell, help me, bro. I'm trying not to. Permission to crash out?
Permission granted, soldier.
Thank you.
Cool. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Glad you
I think sometimes that in our attempt of trying to come off as we're not like everybody else, we're not like these super judgmental people, we're not like these freaking hypocrites, we're not like these bigots, that at some point of us trying to normalize ourselves, that we lose some sort of discipline that comes with it.
Okay.
There's an individual that I know, and I will say this. There's no disrespect behind what I'm saying. I'm not going to be no Stephen A. Smith. I don't want to talk about this, but I'm about to talk about it. No, there's an individual. I have the utmost respect for this individual, but they had a burlesque show at a church.
Oh,
it was a Halloween-themed burlesque show.
That's a little different right there.
Now, yes, a burlesque show and a rave in a church, but it's still something that doesn't fall within the lines of a said church event. Sure. Now, me, myself, personally, would I have done it? No, but it's their show. And the church didn't seem to have a problem with it. So it's just like, so if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But then you start thinking to yourself, if this was any other religious gathering, a mosque, a Buddhist temple,
they ain't having it.
They're not.
That would not happen. And you know that wouldn't happen. And a lot of times people will try to... When people say a lot of times, I'm not religious, they're only talking about one religion, right? Mainstream media, a lot of times when they pick apart a religion, they only aim at Christianity when there are so many other religions that have a bunch of bull crap in it. You know what I'm saying? But they only want to focus on like the one in particular. Now, that's not to say that it's warranted. It's not warranted because yes, it is responsible for a lot of stuff. But what I'm saying is just like, I feel like a lot of times we pick and choose our selective outrage. I don't know if I would attend said rave, but I also feel like at a certain point, we can't just allow things to happen just because we're trying to make some money, because we have to question what follows this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, are we okay with the potential? Because with raves comes alcohol. With raves comes horny young people. So there's a possibility that we may find some used condoms in one of these stalls.
Drugs.
We may find some needles and some drugs in one of these stalls.
Harassment charges.
Because that's my whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, what if someone gets sexually assaulted there? What if someone gets shot there? There's so many questions that I don't know if they're willing to answer. And so like, we have to look past we're just trying to find some money. That's what I have to say. Did I do a good job without airing anybody out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You did, but fuck it anyway. But you did though. But like,
Whew, that was tough, man. I was
following you. Good,
okay,
good.
I was fighting for my life.
No, you're good. You're good, man. I think a lot of it has to do with, like you said, selective outrage, and I think a lot of it also has to do with public perception because, like you said, the first comments were kind of like, oh, that's a little much. I understand that you're trying to get money. But, like we always talk about, when you try to get money, there's a level of discipline that goes with that.
Yeah.
There needs to be a level of discipline that goes with that anyway. And you opening it up to a rave means that you are opening the door for other things. And so you just need to be more understanding of that. There's a lot of other things that come with that, especially a rave.
Yeah.
Especially a rave, no less.
Yeah.
And it's unsupervised, probably, no doubt. You know? So...
Yeah. Because I've never been to a rave, but I've heard
it gets wild.
Yeah, I've heard quite a bit about said rave. So it's just like, so
you could beg the question that, like, if you go to like Coachella or Rolling Loud or something like that, that's kind of like a rave. It's all day, and it's like some things that you probably wouldn't see.
And you associate things with certain things. It's just like when you think of like Freaknik, it's just like,
yeah.
You know what? I'm not going. Did you see the Freaknik documentary?
No, but when you went there, my whole face changed when you freaked.
So when I saw like the Freaknik documentary, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pervert. I was just like, where are the '90s cheeks? Where are these vintage VHS '90s cheeks? I came to the documentary to see some butt. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about the history of Atlanta and HBCUs. I don't want to hear that crap. Okay? I'm not saying it's crap.
Wet ass.
I'm not saying HBCUs is crap.
Wet ass.
But right now, me and my curiosity, screw all that. No, but,
right,
but
I'm
like,
looking for the booty.
I came looking for booty. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But like, so when you hear Freaknik, you associate Freaknik with Freak Nick.
Yeah.
Just like we hear these urban myths about DreamCon and girls throwing that thing dressed as Starfire. What do you think, Metrick?
Yeah, I said I'm going, but I get what my dogs is saying though, because to be able to, you don't want to be able to associate yourself with that, or even like the level of like red flags that come up versus like the green ones that you looking for and you hope happen, it outweighs the other, and that's just simply what that is. And in our reality, people know what they need to do in order to maintain a proper image that they're trying to portray for themselves. So with that being said, you know what the fuck you need to do. Don't be doing no goddamn raves. As much as I will go, and I'll be up in that bitch like, yeah, that shit was lit.
Yeah.
Somebody could get hurt in your establishment and your whole church is ruined. Nobody give a fuck about what you believe in or whatever. And you could be a pure, like, hearted person who so really want to do that for people. You know what I'm saying? But you're robbed the opportunity under this umbrella because you allowed this, because you tried to magnetize it and you didn't want to put in the
I will take it a step further.
You don't want to put in the effort.
It's about to get serious here for this episode. I'll take it a step further. So when I used to live in New York, and I remember there was a party that they had, and it was with well intentions. That it was called prom night. I used to go to the Hillsong church in New York that Carl Lentz used to pastor. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to diss Carl Lentz because he's on his path to restoration. So I'm not going to call nothing out because it's whatever, man. But I went to this, it was called prom night, and it was lit. But at a certain point of the night, it was like, what's going on? Because you have young, attractive people around young, attractive people, and they're playing music. They're not playing Lecrae. They're not playing Andy. They're playing Kanye. They're playing J. Cole. They're playing the clean version. But it's just like, but all in all, it's just like, not every single person, like, listen, bro, don't get it confused. Like, look, I go to church, a lot of people I know go to church, but I'll be straight up with you. Folks in church ain't listening to Lecrae when they get into the whip.
Nope.
Have a lot of respect for Lecrae. Have a lot of respect for Andy Mineo. A lot of them aren't listening to that. So it was just like a lot of them, like, when they hear certain songs, it's like,
niggas been counting me out. I'm counting my bullets.
Bro, I'm saying it's a very
it's a show.
It's a knee-jerk reaction, and it's just like a lot of times it's like, now I'll take it a step further. I used to hang out with a group of folks who used to go to that church, and I remember one time, like, we went to a person's apartment. They had, like, the hot tub. We go up to the top, rooftop. Folks start drinking wine. Girls are drinking a little bit more wine than the guys. You know what I'm saying? You over here smiling.
I shouldn't be smiling. God, I be running there. I go straight there.
My whole thing was like, and I thought to myself, I was like,
nigga goes to the gutter and just stares at it, bro. That's you, bro. Nigga just full on. You know what you do? You the nigga from Get Out who's running in the fucking dark on old boy. Just stares at the gutter.
Exactly. First mention of sex. Ooh, cheeks. Ooh.
Nah, I'm an old boy from It. Just be sitting there just with the raincoat like, what you got for me today? I'm the one that get pulled in that gutter every time. Shit!
Exactly.
We all float down here.
He said, we have Lotto down here. Say less.
Okay,
right?
now hold on, no. Because if Lotto down there,
Like, let me see her. Let me see her.
Rip me out the plastic. I'm acting brand new. Coming right in. Snow's time.
she starts shaking her ass from the gutter. You're just like, I'm about to die.
Right.
Turns out it was Pennywise
It's
the whole
fucking
time.
Pennywise. He done killed her already.
Exactly.
You ain't let me.
They all float down here.
They all float.
No, so I think the thing is like a lot of times, even though it's something with good intentions, it's just like, speaking for myself, I'm trying to get away from a lot of this. I'm trying to get away from this, okay? So it's just like, I don't want, even right now, and some of the people that I've gone out with, it's just like, look, if I wanted to just get like sex, I could call somebody up.
Yeah. You got a few.
Stop. I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to be.
Some of y'all was on that rooftop that night. My dog.
Stop.
See, but I don't think a lot of people have that level of discernment like you do though. Like they don't have those kind of conversations.
You real into them.
Well, I mean, I think maybe my whole thing is because like I've just been around enough and I've seen enough that I'm like, yo, like it's not gonna just stop here. Like, oh, we're just drinking wine. It's not gonna stop at drinking wine. You guys are in bathing suits.
Somebody's clothes is coming off.
Somebody is gonna. I was about to swear. Somebody's gonna get smashed tonight. Okay? Like, come on, man.
I'm sorry. I got you. I'll be your anger translator.
Go for it. Go for it.
For the anger translator of Dave Marino.
Okay.
Somebody getting fucked tonight.
That's what I'm saying. It's about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I'm serious. Like, what annoys me is just like, oh,
Yeah.
You look.
We're not dumb.
Listen, bro. Listen. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna look in the camera. Y'all need to stop.
Hold on. Say it.
Say it again. Hold on. Tell them how you need to feel.
Say it the clean way.
Yes, sir.
Say it the clean way, and I got you.
I got this. All right.
All right, go ahead.
Y'all need to stop blaming things on the devil. Okay? Seriously. Okay? Because I can tell you this right now. You can, man, if you pay attention and not have no discipline and you trust your flesh on just any and everything, bro, you don't need no devil to ruin anything in your life. You can ruin it yourself. Seriously. Oh, you know, we just, bro, like you can't, like.
The world has a
Right.
huge problem with accountability, and I think the accountability thing is probably the scarier part than the actual anything. Because like at that point, you're not thinking of what follows after what you want. You know, when you're drinking the wine, you're like, consciously that something's gonna happen at that point.
You know what the fuck going on.
but you're not thinking of what's after that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're just like, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal because like
you only thought as far as what looks good to you. You ain't thinking further than that.
That's quite literally it.
that's it. You're only thinking about like just the now.
that,
That's like putting a piece of ham in front of a freaking dog and be like, don't eat that, and he keeps getting closer, and then the dog eats it, and you're just like, this nigga, man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You soft as fuck.
stupid dog.
I know I should have
scold
let
the fuck
your
out
ass
of your
at
dog.
the Humane. I'm about to die. You know what? I got the receipt for
I'm
your
taking
goofy
your ass to the
ass.
Humane Society.
Good kid. Bad theories.